Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel, K-Dramalicious, your one-stop for everything K-drama. If you're new here, I'm all about diving deep into K-dramas, sharing my honest thoughts, and geeking out over the details that make them special. Today, we're talking about the highly anticipated Weak Hero Class 2, which dropped on Netflix on April 25th, 2025. Oh my gosh, I finished it on the same day, and I have so many feelings to unpack. This is going to be a two-part review. First, I'll give you a spoiler-free take on why this drama is such a unique experience and whether it lived up to my expectations after loving Season 1. Then I'll dive into a spoiler section to talk about specific moments, characters, and that ending. Trust me, we need to discuss it. I'll give you a clear heads up before the spoilers, so you can watch the drama first if you haven't already. Also, stick around because I really want to hear your thoughts, especially about the possibility of a Season 3. Let's get started. Alright, let's set the stage. Weak Hero Class 2 is the continuation of the intense, action-packed K-drama Weak Hero Class 1, which came out about 3 years ago, in 2022. I actually watched Season 1 just a few months back, right before it hit Netflix in March 2025, and I was hooked. I'd been dying to watch it for ages, but kept putting it off because I couldn't find a good platform. But when I heard Season 2 was coming, I binged Season 1, and let me tell you, the timing was perfect because I didn't have to wait 3 years like some fans did. Now, before we dive into Season 2, let me just say this drama feels like one of a kind. It's not about whether it's better or worse than Season 1, because honestly, it's a continuation of the same story, and comparing them feels weird. Instead, I asked myself, did I have fun watching this? Was I hooked? Did it satisfy my expectations after being blown away by Season 1? And the answer is a resounding yes. So what's Weak Hero Class 2 about? Without spoiling anything, it follows Yeon Seun, our brilliant but emotionally scarred main character, as he transfers to Eunjung High School after the devastating events of Season 1. He's dealing with a lot of trauma, and at first he wants to keep everyone at arm's length. But of course, things don't stay quiet for long. He meets new friends, faces new enemies, and gets pulled into the chaotic world of school violence and gangs, specifically this group called the Union. The story is intense, emotional, and full of those jaw-dropping fight scenes the series is known for. One thing I absolutely loved is how the story doesn't just revolve around Seun. I went in thinking it would focus heavily on Seun and Suho's dynamic. You know, that heart-wrenching friendship from Season 1 that had us all in tears. And while that's still a big part of Seun's journey, the other characters get their own moments to shine. Every character feels natural and essential to the story. You never think, oh, we don't need this person. Their struggles, connections, and growth are so well written, and I have to give a huge shout out to the screenwriters for making it all feel so seamless. Let's talk about the cast because, wow, they killed it. Park Ji-hoon as Seun is phenomenal. I've seen him in other dramas, and he has this unique vibe. There's this soft, almost feminine charm to him, but when he flips the switch, he's intense, captivating, and, dare I say, super hot. He reminds me a bit of BTS's Jimin, you know? That innocent, cute look. But when they decide to be fierce, you're like, whoa, hold up, Park Ji-hoon owns this role. His interviews during the Season 2 promotions were so charming, and you can tell he poured his heart into Seun. The new cast members, like Ryun as Park Hoo-min, Choi Min-young as Seo Jun-tae, and Lee Min-jae as Go Hyun-tak, are fantastic too. They bring so much energy, and some of them had me laughing out loud, which I wasn't expecting from such a gritty drama. On the flip side, there are characters who creep you out the moment they appear on screen. Like, every time certain villains showed up, I got chills. The acting across the board is just top tier. Another thing that stood out to me is how real this drama looks. Maybe it's because it's on Netflix, but I love that they didn't whitewash the characters' faces. The honey-toned color scheme and the visible skin texture in close-up shots feel so authentic. You can see the pores, the subtle makeup. It's not overly polished, and that rawness adds to the drama's vibe. I know not everyone notices this, but for me, it's perfectionism at its finest. And can we talk about the cinematography, the colors, the framing? It's insane. Every scene feels like a work of art. The music, too, elevates the entire experience. If you pay attention to the background score, it pulls you deeper into the story, whether it's a quiet, emotional moment or an intense fight. I binged this season as soon as it dropped, and I couldn't stop. I was so happy to finally watch it, and it lived up to all the hype. If you haven't watched Weak Hero Class 2 yet, go to Netflix right now and dive in. Whether you're a fan of Season 1 or new to the series, it's an unforgettable ride. Alright, that's my spoiler-free take. If you've seen the drama, stick around for the spoiler section because I have questions and I need to talk about some things. If you haven't watched it, pause here, go binge, and come back. Okay, spoiler warning! If you haven't watched Weak Hero Class 2, stop right now because I'm about to dive into some specific moments, characters, and that ending. Seriously, go watch it first. I don't want to ruin the experience for you like someone did for me on Instagram. I was just scrolling and bam, a reel spoiled one of the biggest moments. I was so mad. So save yourself and come back after you've seen it. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? First, let's talk about Seun's life because honestly, this poor guy cannot catch a break. I just want him to have one normal, boring day, like wake up, eat, study, sleep, repeat. No fights, no drama, just peace for a week. But no, his life is a disaster and it's so heartbreaking to watch. Park Ji-hoon's performance had me glued to the screen, especially in those quiet moments where you see Seun's pain. And in the interviews, he's so cute and sweet, which makes it even harder to watch him suffer as Seun. Now let's address the big one, Suho. If you're like me, you were dying to know if Suho wakes up from his coma. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Someone spoiled this for me on Instagram, and I was so upset, but here's what happens. Suho does wake up, and we get a moment where he and Seun reunite. It's short, way too short for my liking. I was screaming at the screen like, hug him, hold hands, do something! I wanted more closure, but it's such an emotional scene, and I'm grateful we got it. What did you think of that moment? Next, the cameos and new characters. There are some surprising appearances that caught me off guard, and I loved how they tied into the story. Jo Jung-suk's cameo as the gangster CEO Choi was such a shock. I did not see that coming and it added so much intensity. The new characters, like Jim Seong-jae, played by Lee Jun-young, were incredible. Let me just say, Lee Jun-young's character scared the life out of me. Every time he showed up with that creepy smile, I got chills. His acting is phenomenal, and I wanted more of him on screen. The other new characters, like Baku, Juntae, and Gotak, were so well done. I loved how Juntae's arc paralleled Beom Seok's from Season 1, but in a way that felt fresh. And Baku and Gotak, they had me laughing out loud at times, which I didn't expect. Their friendship with Seun felt so natural, and I was rooting for them the whole time. Now let's talk about the ending because wow, it's a lot. The big villain, Na Baekjin, just disappears. Or does he? After the huge fight with the Union, we learn at Baekjin's funeral that he was seemingly killed by CEO Choi. But here's the thing. I don't buy it. That felt way too convenient, and I'm convinced Choi had something to do with it. The post-credits scene where Choi asks Seong-jae to take Baekjin's place? That's a major hint that there's more to this story. It's such an open ending, and it's screaming Season 3 potential. Speaking of Season 3, I need to know if it's happening. The way this season ended with the Union dismantled but new threats looming feels like there's so much more to explore. I'd love to see Seong-jae step up as the new antagonist, and how Seun and his friends face him. Plus, I need more Suho and Seun moments. Give me that bromance. There's no official announcement yet, but the webtoon has plenty of material, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Drop your theories in the comments. Do you think we'll get a Season 3 and what do you want to see? One last thing. Make sure you watch past the credits in the final episode. There's a post-credit scene that sets up so much and you don't want to miss it. I almost turned it off, but I'm so glad I didn't. Woo, that was a lot. But I could talk about Weak Hero Class 2 all day. This drama had me on the edge of my seat, and I'm still processing that ending. If you've watched it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you love the new characters? Were you satisfied with Suho's arc? And what's your take on that open ending? If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on Netflix and come back to join the discussion. Also, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next K-drama deep dive. I'm planning to cover more dramas like this, so let me know which ones you want me to review next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!